第19章啊，倒数第3章，这张威廉应该就废了。这张废了威廉，下一章废了这个威勒人，最后一章把教会建成啊，这样这个故事就算完整结束了。基本大致流程不会有问题。这张一个是基本是属于前置的成就啊，就是这个前期做完之后，现在才会有影响的。有一个是必经的，好像叫什么来着 ？The Oath 是吧？就完成誓言了。就主线上，哪怕当时阿里的老爹让你发誓要把 Richard 的这个爵位给拿回来，你这个婆婆妈妈最后也得发誓啊，所以这个誓言在，然后最后你一定会把这个誓言给完成啊，只是你自己的身份可能会随着选项的变化而变化。在哪儿？怎么突然 shut it woman？ 啊，在这儿啊 ，get past sheriff use。谁来着？啊，阿里。我靠 ！Cron， 是谁啊 ？I need to find Elizabeth before the outpost attack。这集感觉威廉要翻了。
Patience, patience.
Are you all right?
What do you think? Of course I'm all right. I'm more all right than anyone else in this crowd. Just because Lord Hamley insists on women to deliver the tributes, don't mean you have to send your youngest and prettiest. Fools.
Apple brought them from Kingsbridge. Hope they choke it.
I'm just a shepherd's daughter. I have no
I try
business
and
here.
it's my small.
Shut up.
Bloody beggars.
She looks so scared. She's drawing all attention toward her.
Calm yourself. I'll make sure that nothing will happen to you. They took a woman in my town. She never came back. Nothing will happen to you if you just remain calm. I want to go home.
Oi, you there.
谁啊？
Yes, I meant you. That's a pretty face you got there. You're coming with me.
What? Leave her. Take me instead.
Take me instead.
Well, whatever. You'll walk to the other side of the yard and talk to Walter. He'll get you settled. And don't you dare stray from the path.
Ah, 只能往这儿走，能回去吗 ？Waiting queue, knights, they look familiar. Look familiar.
They say Lord Hamley might lose shiring soon. What if the next Earl has us all hanged?
Calm down. None of these royals really care about this shithole.
I know those two. They used to fight for father.
Listen 一下，不会被干掉。
Bartholomew's children. There's a lot of bad blood there.
Well, the boy used to fight for Stephen, but as far as I know, he ran out of coin. Now he's just a good-for-nothing playing watchman for those monks in Kingsbridge.
And the Lady Aliena?
Don't make me laugh.
Keep on listening.
Oh, I think you underestimate her. Some years back, I heard she almost cut up a priest in Winchester, put a knife to his throat, and robbed him dry. Oh, she's a fury.
And you're a sissy.
You are a sissy. Waiting queue. Gallows. Horrendous. I don't want to take look closely. 能往回走吗？啊，不能往回走。Gatehouse. It was hard to come here. Can't leave now. 不能过了。这儿呢 ？Sacks and barrels. 这不是腐败的问题吗？这谁啊？不会就是他吧？他应该挺老了。
Almost. Let me just see if I took enough.
Elizabeth， 这儿，我在哪儿？我在哪儿？对了，我在哪儿啊？我这个艾莉长得太村姑，连看都没看到。艾莉在哪儿？啊，在这儿是吧？我靠，你这个长得太村姑都不显眼。The keep. No one wants me to go there. Neither them nor me. But it's the only right thing to do. 啊，往那儿走是吧 ？The keep. 这里呢 ，to the keep 是吧？哦，这儿呢 ，pigs eat what is fed to them. eat what is fed to them。我靠，这个 can barely look， 鬼畜啊！我操，猪在吃人，我操，太牛逼了！这画面太牛逼了，光想象就很不得了。那把 Elizabeth 交流一下 ，There she is, even more tired than last time， 被榨干了。能进吗？啊，直接就触发对话了。
What are you doing here? You need to leave. Don't come any closer. William has me watched.
What's taking so long?
I forgot the pork. I'll be out shortly. Wait a moment, then follow me.
哦，这儿
We don't have much time.
干嘛？
You will look for me any moment now. So why did you come?
要选了是吧 ？I need to spoke to. I'm here because of you.
I'm waiting.
We don't have much time.
King Stephen has declared a truce with Empress Maud. William's tyranny is over. This land might finally see peace again. That's why I'm here, to talk to his mother. But if we can't agree upon terms, I'm afraid we will have to take Earl's Castle by force. There's an army of outlaws hiding in the woods waiting for my signal.
Will people die?
Not if I can prevent it.
You need to save Lady Regan first.
If you promise to leave now.
I can try, but I can't promise.
I won't leave until I know she's safe. I'm sorry.
这样的吗？他怎么对他有感情？
Or do you want me to come in and pull you out?
I need to go. Maybe Walter can take you to Lady Regan.
Water.
Walter? William's dog?
Don't call him that. He's not as bad as people say he is.
这样的吗？
William won't allow me to talk to him anymore. Now Lady Regan is all I have left. Please, please be careful.
I will.
哦 ，Talking to Regan Hamley is the only chance we have left. Elizabeth seems to trust Walter. Was I wrong about him? 真的假的 ？Find and rescue Elizabeth. Fine. 啊，他走了是吧？这谁啊？这不 Hugh X should keep my distance. He might recognize me. Should keep my distance. 往这儿走吗？啊 ，Walk up the wall 是吧？因为 Walter 在这儿嘛。这个人看来是要聊的。William's first henchman's instructor， 这当时出来的时候就已经比 William 要大一倍。可能 William 20多岁，他可能已经30多了，现在估计也不比他们年轻多少了。对，还有 grown old。Elizabeth told me you would help. Threaten 我的傻屌们。Take me， 选谁的？
Elizabeth claims you aren't such a bad person after all.
Am I not? Have you forgotten that I killed your family's steward?
我还记得
Got。problems over there, Walter?
Tell your guard to stand down. Have a heart.
So you think I'm a nice bloke, and you give me orders on how to handle my men? Don't make me laugh. Hugh!
What?
I promise, once my family is back in charge, things will get better for everyone. Or do you really not care for all the starving people?
I don't believe you. But it's not up to me to judge these things. I'll take you to Lady Hamley. She'll decide.
嘿，成功了，就不要直说，那个选项就不用选啊，已经快翻了。这你们还能活多久啊？长得非常。
My lady?
Elizabeth, could you get me some water, dear?
Yes, my lady.
后面还是这个红十字的
Wake up, my
衣服。
lady. There is someone who wants to see you. It's the Lady Aliena.
The Lady Aliena.
The lady.
When did that bitch become nobility again?
Demand more respect. Demand.
I'm sorry for intruding, but this is very important.
Important. As if anything you have to say could be of any importance to me.
I'm certain you've heard about the treaty the king made with Duke Henry at Wallingford Castle.
I have. I have also heard that it's a muddled mess.
It is a complicated deal indeed, but one that will end the war. And one that makes my family the rightful owners of this earldom once more.
Only by word. There's no one who would come to enforce this, not even the king.
You need to understand that there is great anger among the peasants of Shiring. Anger against your son, against you, even against that poor woman, Elizabeth. If your son doesn't step down, the people will take their land back by force.
That's a lie. My William is a better earl than your father ever was. To think that I once wanted to marry my good William into a family like yours. Not a day goes by when I am not glad that God saved us from that horrible fate. And that he sent that monk to Bishop Waleran to unveil your father's evil plan.
That monk?
What monk?
That prior of Kingsbridge.
哦，是他的。
Philip of Gwynedd.
哦，原来如此。嗨，对
My lady, you
对
need to hear
因为
her
菲利
out.
还没有跟他说过，他还不知道呢。
My
玩家当然知道。
Elizabeth, don't you see what she is trying to do to us?
If you don't listen, people will die. I promise Isabel, I would save you. Prior 啊，这就不要问了。
I promised your son's wife that I'd make certain you'd be safe.
所以 Jack 坑了 Philip 坑了他了。
From a pack of impotent.
他坑了 Jack， 也是
lady
对，他坑了 Jack。
The Lady Aliena came here to make things better.
She has only ever made things worse. She mocked my son for wanting to marry her.
She had every right to deny it.
Mocked.
What? How can you say that? He is your husband. He's good to you.
If it wasn't for Walter, I'm sure William
啊，
would
这样
have killed me already.
I have an army outside the gates, ready to attack.
What?
It's up to you if this ends in a bloodbath or not.
Oh!
It's all up to you.
In the name of the true Earl of Shiring, make them suffer!
我操，已经开始了。
They're coming.
Richard，
Mother, we're being attacked.
这时候威廉姆是不是已经飞起来了？根本没法打
What's
了，
going on here?
肚子好大。
What's that bitch doing here?
She's trying to bargain.
She's trying to take everything.
Is she? Is she now?
Leave it.
Shut up, old man.
哎，
Cut that whore up, Walter!
No. You brought this on yourself.
我没点，我觉得
You bloody traitor!
我没有点，我觉得
Someone get up here! Men! You will pay.
啊，这是他的匕首是吧？我没有，还是我点了一下？
Pay
我觉得我没有点。不管了，这个我觉得也，这个剧情走向我觉得也没太大问题。谁啊？这谁啊？这不会是 William 吧？这么惨，居然被 Elizabeth 干掉了。哦，他还真的在火焰中看到了恶魔了。真的要下地狱了。
Is Is he dead?
He is. William Hamley is dead.
What now?
Now we tell his men.
We tell his men.
Stop! Stop fighting! Drop your weapons immediately!
Behold the banner of the new Earl of Shiring!
哦，这老的旗子回来了，不对，这个是那个旗子。
Everyone, listen!
誓言成就已结束。
Lord Hamley is dead! The castle now belongs to the former Earl's family
实
again.
现你的誓言。
What? You're shitting us!
Shitting us.
It was the king's wish.
Who killed him?
选这个。
He died because he refused to hand over Earl's Castle peacefully.
He knew that the king was about to take the earldom away from him. To avoid punishment, he took his own life. My name is Lady Aliena of Shiring. I'm the daughter of Bartholomew, the former Earl of these lands. I've been tasked to end the tyranny of William Hamley and restore order to Shiring.
Our occupation of Shiring has been made unlawful. Every attack on us is sanctioned by the King of the English.
So what will happen to us then?
I shall tell the king that William Hamley forced you to do his bidding. That every atrocity done to the people of Shiring was his doing and his
这两个选
alone.
项很弱智，剩下只有2个能选。
You will get your chance for redemption by helping the people of Shiring recover from your own cruelty, and by rebuilding their homes and tending to their fields.
Ali, I know that you're a much better leader than I. Without you, we would never have come this far. You never hesitated with swearing and fulfilling
啊，这
the
里来
oath
了
to
是吧？
father.
这里来了。
In the end, I will be the Earl in name only, but you shall be the true ruler of Shiring.
这里选什么 ？Thank you, brother， 应该是。Maybe you don't need me anymore。就选 Thank you, brother。
Richard, thank you.
I owe you a lot, Ali. The tyranny of William Hamley is over. The earldom of Shiring belongs to its rightful heir.
哦，来了，女伯爵艾丽安娜。我靠，这这里的啊是叫女伯爵艾丽安娜是吧？但为什么这个英文的成就名叫 Countess 啊？它不是 Countless， 多一个 L 的话是 Countless， 数不尽的。但把 L 拿掉是 Countess 啊，是 Countess 是吧？这个也有女伯爵的意思吗 ？Countess Earl 是男伯爵啊，不就是正常情况翻译就是 EARL 就是伯爵，但是没有女伯爵的意思。女伯爵是有别的这个单词，就跟 King 一般形容国王，不会形容女王。哎，那这个 Countess 什么东西 ？Countess 伯爵除了那个 Earl 还有一个是 Count，COUNT 就是属这个动词名词是有伯爵的意思，那所以加 ESS 呢就是女性了，是女伯爵 Countess。Reinstatement of Aliena of Shiring， 但名义上还是 Richard。为什么名义上是 Richard， 但是实际上是这个 Aliena 掌管的？这个不同国家都一样，很多国家其实都一样。Reinstatement of Aliena of Shiring. King Henry II, by the council of all his barons and for the fulfillment of the Treaty of Wallingford, has decreed that Shiring and each township shall return to their owners from before the former Lord King Stephen's stewardship, within the term fixed for its sovereignty. Those to be in succession by blood of former Earl Bartholomew of Shiring shall claim the title. Therefore, Aliena of Shiring is to be announced Countess of Shiring in an official inauguration until her son becomes of age. 对，现在看起来这个大英帝国王是女王，不过这也是有历史的。 就虽然女王是女王，但往下的顺位呢，就顺位顺下去，你发现一般还是这个儿子的位置在女儿之前。这个很多国家都一样，继承顺位摆在那儿。你要想推翻那个东西还是很难。
Why are they laughing?
干嘛？
You can send a messenger if you want, but there won't be much of a prior left when he arrives.
Ali, what's going on?
还没完是吧？就威廉虽然挂了，但是游戏还没结束。这段的结尾这么澎湃呢 ？The return to Ur's castle. You snuck into Ur's castle with an army of outlaws supporting you. You didn't confront your father's former knights. 你还可以 confront 的是吧？对，那两个人在对话的时候，你可以接近他们。我不知道会发生什么事情了。Elizabeth did not leave Ur's castle and stayed with you to the end. You ordered William's men to help rebuild Sharing. Richard made you the true Earl of Sharing. 这条是可有可无的，是可有可无的。那为什么 Richard 如果死了你就自赞成？因为 Richard 如果死了，Bartholomew 的这个儿女就没有儿了，只有女了。这种情况，那当然是艾莉继承。他有一个先后顺序的。如果有儿有女，哪怕这个儿子比女儿小就是这个姐弟这么一个关系，依然是弟弟的顺位是优先的，继承顺位是优先的。这个是有规则的，就跟法律一样，有这个一条一条规则的。来了，还有你啊！下一章就是你了。
I have already taken matters into my own hands. My men arrested him while Kingsbridge was left unguarded.
While his friends took Earl's Castle?
Yes.
At least in his death, William Hamley was of use to you.
Was of use to you. 是啊，艾莉亲手解决威廉，接下来就是 Philip 对决威廉人，这肯定是一个对一个的，这不会让艾莉来解决威廉人，这样就有点乱套了。自己的这个恩仇还是要自己解决。Sharing the day of the trial.
Look at all these people. Seems like they're enjoying themselves.
They never change.
You
drooling dogs should be ashamed.
Shut up, you old hag.
Citizen.
Ellen?
I'm not feeling well.
这儿说。
I'll take care of you. You two go ahead.
他们两个。
Is your mother ill?
It's not that.
Jonathan 还有胡子了。
This is where they hanged my father.
Philip 呢 ？Philip 不会被抓起来吗？还真是，我操，他被抓起来。我刚刚也提到了。
The trial begins.
我只是以为他带走他了。Timothy.
The judges.
Timothy 是吧
Brother of Stephen, King of the English. The Right Reverend Bishop Henry of Winchester.
艾莉怎么也在
Her Highness, the Countess Lady Aliena of Shiring.
Countess 就是如果不是 Countess 的话，做了就是 Richard。
The Right Reverend Bishop of Shiring and Kingsbridge.
头发都白了，两个人还要打架。
Wailerun by God.
我操，他居然穿的是红色的衣服了。我记得这个宗教里面这红色的衣服不是一般人能穿的。
Please.
地位应该挺高的。
The church is not without fault.
对，那个 Philip 写过书了。
We have gathered here today
那本书是
before the eyes of God
违反了现在的宗教利益。
to accuse one of our own. He wrote in his book that the church and the papacy are not necessary as intercessors between God and man.
这跟艾莉没关系。
That God is in man, that all men are equal, and that each sinner is as close to our Lord as the Pope himself.
这是另外一种思维。
We ask God for His judgment.
这也是偏现代的这个宗教思想。
The power and the glory. Not ours, and not yours. You stand accused of heresy. Philip of Gwynedd.
被绑起来。
How do you plead?
我操！
Answer.
我操，这个选项，我选这个。
Prior, respond to Bishop Wailerun.
我靠，这选的好难啊！
I am not guilty.
Slow and dry laughter.
Your teachings speak another language. Guilty, I say.
I am deeply saddened. It may come as a surprise to you, but we had hoped to make you Bishop of Kingsbridge. Why has it come to this, Philip?
In part, I am to blame. I supported Philip in his early years.
这个是对的，确实
I
是。
demand that Philip be removed from his position of prior
后面
immediately.
分道扬镳了，
No.
开始敌对。
And that he remain in captivity until such time that Shiring and all of England have healed from the poisonous words he has dispersed.
威廉相当于 Philip 的上司，你违背了上司。
No.
What?
Accuse William himself. Doubt accusation. 先不要急嘛，先不要急，有
In
缓
what
之
way
急。
exactly are Philip's teachings heretical?
Philip of Gwynedd has said that each of us is in part of a godly nature, for God has made us in his image. Therefore, he claims that none of us, not he, not the bishops, not even the Pope, is closer to God than any other
这样就
man
侵
or
犯了这些
woman.
bishop 跟 pope 的权利了，意思就是他们的等级并没有那么高了。
Christ made his apostle Peter his first pope. He and us, his church, hold the keys of the kingdom of heaven.
Yes!
The Bible also tells us, let a man be known by his actions. Philip made Kingsbridge into a prosperous place for its people and for the church you claim he disrespects.
实际上不会要一口气下去
That is true,
一
Lady
口气下去的话，我
Helena.
中间切一下，
Yes.
不能存档。
Let a man be known by his actions.
Actions。
Call in Remigius.
我靠 ，Remigius 一直是你的
Prior
人，
of Shiring,
从一开始就是他的人。
Father Remigius.
这个就是法庭啊 ，Remigius 啊，他的头发有点白
My
了。
bishop.
My bishop。
Tell the court, Remigius, what you have told me.
For many years, I served as sub-prior of Kingsbridge. First for Prior James, then for the accused.
Accused.
What was your first impression of him?
I was offended by his bluntness and accusations during the chapter discussions.
What else?
Prior Philip did not hesitate to give refuge to the people fleeing Earl's Castle in the winter that our
这其实
king
就是之前的
died.
选项，但其实跟主线
Is
走
that not a
走
good
上是没
deed?
关系。
A true Christian act?
You do not know him as well as you think you do, Lady Aliena. Today, that will change.
Then, on the day of our first fleece fair, we were attacked.
I heard. It was terrible.
I tried to soothe a woman's pain by reading the scripture to her. Our master builder's wife tried to put a spell on her with poisonous herbs.
And Philip intervened.
Yes. He pushed me aside and gave the woman poison.
It
Witch.
is worse than I thought.
It was no poison.
And then there was the day the Virgin Mary's statue arrived in Kingsbridge. I did not believe it was a miracle.
Clearly, it is a miracle. I hear of many who were healed in Kingsbridge.
Yes! Amen! Oh, Mary, bless us all!
Well, I soon realized it was a true miracle, but Philip did not. He was only after the money people donated at the Virgin's shrine.
这么强
That
这么强多
is
少？
why I left.
但世界上这样的人活得最久。
I believe there is one more thing you have not told us about.
还有什么？
Something very important.
什么？
Yes. Philip has fathered
Ah.
a child.
，unbelievable， 这个确实鬼畜啊。和尚有一个儿子还是有 ？guilty， 感觉要被 hang。
Jonathan of Kingsbridge, step forward.
不会吧
This is preposterous.
？Preposterous.
Is it?
Is this true? Are you Philip's son?
这张太长了，我还是一口气下去吧。I have no father. Philip has always like a. 这是。这里直接。
Philip has always been like a father to me. But he's not my father.
How do you know that?
He told me.
And how do you know he spoke the truth?
Speak. Philip would never lie. He told me that I was found in the woods.
In the woods? Is this true, Philip? Or are you lying? Well, you told the story so many times.
My brother found him.
Your brother? Had he not been working for Earl Robert of Gloucester? You have not seen him in a long time now, have you? Let us ask your brother if your stories are true.
不会吧？啊，他还真的还活着是吧 ？Francis。不会吧？我操！这段是鬼，这段是鬼畜啊！
What happened to you?
This is not your fault. He does this to hurt you.
My God.
Francis of Gwynedd. He was arrested more than 15 years ago. He was arrested for conspiring against his own master, Earl Robert.
Remove the prisoner.
Philip told me himself, and I told Earl Robert. For God and the Church cannot take sides in these conflicts. Only one brother has been tried so far, but both of them conspired against Earl Robert. And his ally, Earl Bartholomew, your father, Lady Aliena. Philip took in all those refugees years ago because he was to blame for their fate. As he was for yours when you lost your father and your earl.
他已经知道了，他已经知道了。
That, Lady Aliena, is the man you are trying to protect. Well,
do not forgive.
I know that he is a troubled man. We've all had to make hard decisions, decisions that seemed right at the time, when indeed they were terrible mistakes. I am thankful that I was forgiven when I made a mistake. Now I forgive him.
所以一个对一个，一个对一个，是这个逻辑没有问题。设定上就是这样，三角。
Let us now return to the problem at hand. There is a man who witnessed how Jonathan was found in the forest.
谁啊？
A man who can shed light on who Jonathan's father really is.
不会吧？
And who is that?
My husband.
不会吧？
Step forward.
居然让 Jack 来，我还以为让 Tom Bueller 来的。看这段就是对话了是吧？这里不要说 Jack Bueller， 说这个，说这个，说真话，因为这个 Jack Jackson 是有关系的，是有关系的。
No, I have not. You know well why it would be hard for me to face you.
对。
They call me Jack after my father. My name is Jack Jackson.
Yes, we have met before.
啊，这样的吗？他们两个见过了吗？ 啊，真记
How
不住。
old were you when you allegedly saw Jonathan as a child in the woods?
这个能回答出来，想不起来，10岁啊，12岁啊，那个时候他已经12岁了。那5年后也就17岁，确实没成年。
You were a child. And what were you doing there, in the woods?
I was living in the forest with my mother.
所以他是 outlaw。
They were outlaws.
Prior Remigius is the most trustworthy witness we've seen today, and his statement was quite damning to Philip. The distant memories of an outlawed child cannot convince me otherwise.
He fathered a child.
Let him go!
Henry 其实也没有说完全是帮了这个那个 Wailer， 他也有点墙头草。
Lady Aliena is right.
我现在是比较偏
We
这
do
个
not
Wailer。
know enough to judge him as harshly as you proposed, Bishop Waileran.
You are right, Bishop Henry. As I said, it is not up to us to judge this man.
那谁啊？
Philip of Gwynedd has pleaded innocent, but how innocent is he? We ask God for his judgment.
God， 谁是 God？ 你是 God。
As Bishop of Kingsbridge and Shiring, I demand an ordeal by fire.
啊，酷刑是吧？
This is madness!
Philip of Gwynedd will be tried and judged at the stake. If he is innocent, God will save him from the flames. If he is not, then he will burn as the heretic and sinner God has declared him to be.
No!
Tom Builder 也在。
Waileran, by God! Not this time.
It's her.
I saw the child and Francis. I was there. Philip is not the child's father. He is a fool, but he is a good man.
Then who is the father?
It is me.
啊 ，Jonathan 不知道的。
They are all in this together. This woman is a witch and an outlaw, living in sin with a thief. He was hanged in Shiring 30 years ago.
He was not a thief. He was a good man. You've murdered him, Waileran, by God.
What is this nonsense?
He was a thief.
这个把旧事儿拿出来，这个威廉是自掘坟墓。
What chalice?
The chalice of the Eucharist. He stole it from the Cathedral of Kingsbridge.
Sacrilege.
Sacrilege.
Yes, Friar James of Kingsbridge caught him red-handed.
Prior James confessed to me he lied. Show chalice， 不要说废话。这种时候就要证据。
Is that the chalice? You said it was melted down and sold.
Fall not for their lies. That could be any chalice. This does not prove a thing.
Where did you find this chalice?
In a secret chamber. We believe Prior James hid it because he felt guilty for falsely accusing Jack's father.
What proof do you have?
He told me. The night the cathedral burned down, I was there, I saw him.
Prior James died weeks before that.
No, he did not.
Bishop Henry, he speaks the truth.
哦 ，Remigius 跑掉了 ，Remigius 跑掉了，墙头草了。
I will give you until sunset to produce a witness who can prove your accusations against Bishop Waileran.
Witness， 谁能当 witness？
Not just this chalice.
Witness。
If you fail to do this, I will make sure you are tried for defamation.
不会吧？这谁啊？这能选
Philip of
谁？
Gwynedd, you will stay under arrest. The trial recommences at sunset.
啊，然后重新开始是吧？妈，这章已经一半过去了，所以我现在不会暂停，我必须要把它打完。打完之后，我把这个视频掐成2半。
We need a witness.
这少谁啊 ？Witness。
What are you doing there?
I've seen you draw up plans for a cathedral. Maybe we can do something similar to find our witness. Let's see.
不会吧？
Your father.
He looks just like you.
My grandmother said he did.
And Bishop Waleran. What are the connections? Maybe, by exploring them,
啊，对
we
哦，也
can
是。
find a
这两个人好像
witness.
没什么关系。
Good idea.
这里也许能搞出更大的关系。先看 Bishop William wants to see Philip burn is behind the death of so many. Made sure to leave almost no
Bishop
traces.
Waleran is at the center of all this.
这张有点好玩，干嘛连起来说？
Mother says Waleran was behind my father's death.
对，另外两个是那个
And she said he
Percy
wasn't alone. There were 3 men responsible for your father's death.
Percy Hamley 跟那个
Bishop Waleran,
Prior James。
Percy Hamley. Back then, he was the sheriff of Shiring. And Prior James of Kingsbridge.
没错。
If they were all there, then they were all witnesses.
And only Waleran's still alive.
没错。
Hardly a coincidence. Why would these 3 men work together to falsely accuse your father?
因为
He was on the white
因为
ship.
他是唯一一个活下来的人。
No
White
one
ship
survived that night. No one lived to tell the story.
Yes. He was the sole survivor.
And then they killed him. But why?
Sank in autumn of 1120. 1120，哇，这么前面的吗？那 Jack 什么时候出生？1125，差不多。当时1136 Jack 说12岁的话，那可能1124年是吧 ？Jack 大概1124年前后出生，现在应该已经快1160年了。这么算的话，36不，反正30多岁啊，30前半估计是。
And what about the ship?
这可以
My
联系。
father wanted to go to England.
对，从法国回英格兰，
He was the only one who made it when the white ship sank.
或者应该叫诺曼底。然后呢，跟他们有什么关系？这3个人我觉得没关
Why
系。
would Waleran, Percy, and James be concerned about the white ship?
The son and heir of King Henry was on board. So were other possible heirs and other members of the royal household. I heard that Stephen was supposed to be on the ship as well, but became ill. He was the only male heir. The only threats were the king's daughter Maud and her half-brother Earl Robert, and they've been at war ever since.
这么复杂的吗？
And your father, Earl Bartholomew. He was a threat. He tried to stop Stephen and paid for that with his life. Maybe my father saw something on the white ship. Proof that Stephen was involved.
还能这么玩？
What about the king?
这是 King Stephen 是吧？
Stephen always claimed that it had been God's will that he was not on that ship. That he remained as the only male heir.
That wasn't God. I bet Stephen had a hand in the sinking of the ship.
Now imagine what would have happened if he had learned that someone survived. Someone who might have seen what really happened that night. If Stephen was responsible for the sinking of the white ship, then he may have wanted the only witness of what really happened to disappear.
But he wouldn't have done it himself, of course.
No.
If the white ship is involved, then it's likely that Waleran was told by King Stephen to murder your father.
But he was not king back then. Why would Waleran listen to him?
He was promised to become bishop.
Of course.
Remember, Bishop Henry is Stephen's brother, and back then he was already one of the most influential clerics in all of England.
But if Bishop Henry is in on all this, what chance do we have to turn this trial around?
It is a public trial. All we want is for Philip to go free. We find a witness to expose Waleran. Henry would have to play along to appear innocent.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
It's our best shot.
但问题找谁呢？那谁可以当这 witness？ 还没完，还没完。考上基本上讨论完了，但还没完。谁能当 witness？ Boys
Do
Percy
you
Hamley。
think Stephen would have approached Percy directly?
Because of the white ship? To help him cover up his tracks?
I don't think so. I think it's more likely that Waleran contacted Percy. Just like he did when he wanted Percy to arrest my father.
Do you think the king told James to arrest my father?
No. I find it much more likely that James was instructed to frame your father by Waleran, his superior. As Archdeacon, Waleran was much more involved in politics than James would have been.
先存个脑，万一点错机器就麻烦了。哎，那怎么点呢？
Jack's father. If he was still with us, he could be our witness.
Maybe he still can.
Maybe he still
If the king is behind all this, what chance do we have to stop Waleran and save Philip?
We must do our best.
这等于没说。
I wonder if my father ever learned why he was killed. James was the prior of Kingsbridge.
That's where they say your father stole the chalice, melted it and sold it.
But we know that's not true.
As we found it, Philip recognized the chalice.
But Bishop Henry wants a witness. The chalice isn't enough.
谁可以当 witness?
But it's an important lead for us.
哦。
I think we're getting closer.
还有最后一个东西是吧 ？Chalice.
Maybe Stephen never came up with the plan to hang your father.
You mean Waleran did it because he heard rumors and wanted to get closer to Stephen and Bishop Henry? Maybe.
Philip said that Prior James was an honest man. So perhaps Waleran forced him to falsely accuse your father.
Maybe.
这都是 maybe 也没用的。
That might explain why James was guilt-ridden.
Guilt-ridden.
The monks still tell the stories about how James thought the devil was after him.
James claimed that your father had stolen the chalice and sold it.
这是无所谓。
But instead, James himself hid it in Kingsbridge, in the crypt.
We found his scourge in a bed down there.
That secret chamber is important.
不会，还有一个东西。也就是说，有谁知道 secret chamber？
Close.
Secret chamber， 这
That you found the chalice in Kingsbridge and that it was hidden away proves your father was innocent. But it doesn't prove that Waleran is behind it.
Why was the chalice hidden? And by whom?
You said Prior James was full of regret. He probably couldn't just destroy the chalice. Not even after he used it to frame your father. It was the chalice of the Eucharist, after all.
Eucharist.
And a token for what he did. Do you think that the king knew about this secret room?
那不太可能。
No, I'm sure if Waleran didn't know, the king didn't know either.
And Waleran looked genuinely surprised when I mentioned it.
所以他不知道那东西。那选谁？
Everyone thought Prior James was dead. That he broke into the ice. And now we know he was hidden away.
那个事件我一开始觉得是没啥用
Why
的事
did
情。
his monks believe he was dead?
Sub-Prior Remigius told everyone he had found James' rosary by the river.
啊，所以是 Remigius。
So everyone thought the body had been
不
washed
会吧
away. They buried an empty casket.
还真墙头草呀。
But how is Remigius involved?
Philip told me that Remigius was there when Waleran made Philip prior. Waleran and Remigius knew each other.
That explains why Waleran later made Remigius prior of Shiring.
And Remigius recognized my mother when we arrived in Kingsbridge. He must have been there at the time my father was
这我一开
arrested.
始还真没反应过来。
I think Remigius
真
knows
相
all
大白，
about
成就一解
this.
锁。
Is it possible that Waleran told Remigius to make Prior James disappear when James began to talk about what they'd done?
有道理。
When James started talking to
揭
the
露
devil.
阴谋，成就一解
For
锁。揭
some
露阴谋。
reason, Remigius hid him away. But Waleran never knew. Yes, that explains why he really didn't believe you. When you said you had seen James in the fire.
Where James died after all. And Remigius thought no one knew.
We have to find Remigius. He's our witness.
靠，这个
Let's hurry. It's getting dark already.
这个人居然这里派上大
The
用
trial will continue
他我感觉
soon.
跟 Henry 差不多。
People know you two. You shouldn't walk around shiring like that.
谁来？谁是 Jonathan 来说？
He's right.
I'll go look for him.
啊，这里主人公换成他了。
All right.
还说不用操控。
Take care of yourself. And Jonathan.
Yes?
We will talk later about what was said today. About Tom.
All right. Remigius.
Oh.
Now where are you?
啊，开始找了是吧 ？Remigius is our witness. Where is he？ 所以他看到这个 Alan 很紧张，是这个意思吗 ？Find Remigius, the divine soul, the divine soul。我靠，这小伏笔真的很多啊，细思极恐啊！来吧，下一章就是结尾了。全部看完之后，我估计休息1-2天，然后专门开一期大概长一点，把这个第一本书大概玩到第5章，把东西给补了。这干嘛呢？这不能点啊 ！Bishop's Palace, Waylaren's Palace. Philip told me how he first met Waylaren, the winter I was born. 啊，对，现在是那个 Jonathan。耶，那个谁来着？那个 Alfred 呢？这楼应该是 Alfred 建的呀。Alfred 跑哪去？好像 Alfred 没出来过。他不会是这个无颜面见乡亲父老了吧 ？No one here. Everyone went to the cathedral. Tom Bueller 也不见吗？这个玛莎也不来见。一个人不知道躲什么地方。Saint George, no comparison to our cathedral. Still the largest building within the town wall. 对，一般的这种楼层就是1层2层，差不多3层，不太可能建得很高。这就是为什么这个 Kingsbridge Cathedral 说是很不得了。
Everyone left for the trial, it seems.
在当时那个年代，这种教堂现在想想也是不得了。当时怎么做到建起来？怎么能建起来？这帮人的恐高症得是有多不严重啊！要是我站在那个城墙边上，配合这个腐国的风，有9条命也不够受。Tyrant District， 他又没有什么防护措施的嘛，几乎没有防护措施，只能靠这种梯子搭上去，一点点爬上去。
They're all gone.
这种高度其实就已经很不得了了，你要徒手搭的话，还能再往上建，太夸张了。Pyre, mass of people at Shiring Cathedral, old-fashioned cathedral. So many people came to the trial. For most of them, just a show. 对啊，吃瓜群众，一直都是有的。Find Remigius.
Do you want to go in, Father?
No, not yet. Thank you.
Are you not with Prior Philip?
Yes, I am.
I pray they'll set him free.
He's a good man.
He is a heretic!
You're fools! Look at yourselves! Who are you to judge a man who has never hurt anyone?
Forgive them, Father.
We don't judge him, but God will!
哎，这不是 Remigius 吗？哎，干嘛 ？Remigius 怎么逃到这里了？我靠，怎么感觉跟猫捉老鼠一样的这设定？这最后的设定搞得很滑稽了，已经渐进高潮了，你就不要。
No one may approach the pyre.
Why not?
Bishop Henry's orders.
All right.
啊，那看来这个地方是有什么东西。来，刚刚不是看到那个 Remigius 往这走了？猫捉老鼠。
Remigius
藏起来，他也不知道该帮谁，你知道吗？帮错人了，这里是要命的，所以不能帮错人。
Wait, was that him?
所以他也很犹豫。就万一帮菲利被干掉了，你也会被这个，你也会被牵扯上啊！这不 Timothy 吗？但如果他帮的是这个 Waylaran， 如果 Waylaran 最后被干掉了，那他也会哎，这谁啊？这不是 Alfred with Child？Alfred Child 是谁啊？哎，现在好像傍晚了，怎么这么快了吗 ？Burning cart, mass of people shouting。他反正不能过去，也居然还有 Man with Child。啊，对啊，那个谁
？What happened here?
Damn monks running across the street like that.
Alfred 是他哥
Tried not to run them over.
亲哥。
Now I got a broken wheel, and my apprentice dropped his torch.
I didn't mean to. Sorry.
Apprentice.
Sorry doesn't cut it.
这伏笔可以啊！序章别忘了那个谁来 ，Agnes 怀里抱着就是他，现在居然可以操控他了，对吧？这感觉是很不得了。
Have you seen a priest walk through here? Father Remigius?
No, sorry, I haven't.
Alfred.
Hey.
Yes?
You're Jonathan, right?
Yes, I am.
这小孩怎么长得这么野？
And who are you?
Never mind, but there's something you should know. Tom Builder. He left you behind because your mother died. He had no way to feed you. He thought he had no other choice.
How do you know all this?
He went looking for you an hour later, but you were gone. And when he finally found you in Kingsbridge, he was there for you ever since. But he thought he'd lost the right to be your father.
Just who are you?
Just remember what I said. I pray they won't burn Philip. He's a good man.
Can we go home, Daddy?
Little a girl 这个居然是 girl。
Let's go home.
长得一脸野像，也不知道跟谁结的婚。怕有人去那 Saint George。The Remedios working there.
Hello? The door's open.
那近啊。
Is anyone there?
紧张。Timothy 跟那个 Remedios 在这儿。
By God, no!
我操 ，Timothy 这么凶的吗？
Our bishop is very.
这不是当年被这个威廉卧槽！
No! What are you doing? I'm doing what is asked of me.
不会吧 ？Timothy 已经疯了。
Stop it!
OK， 居然点到了，这速度好快啊！
This does not concern you. No.
Who told you to do this?
No one. I
那肯定是威勒人，他居然自己掉下去，我操！这里也太突然了，这样的话 ，Remedios 肯定不会帮着威勒人，摔死了。
Why did he do this to you?
I will tell you. I will tell everyone.
威勒人知道他是最后的目击者，所以他想把最后的目击者给干掉。
Do you have a witness?
完了。
Father Remedios, prior of Shiring.
这最后就是。
Where is Timothy?
对，这桩事情没干成就完了，干成的话呢，干成了你就赢了，干不成你就输了。
True. Bishop Waleran wanted the jongleur Jacques Cherbourg dead.
Jongleur.
He ordered our Prior James to frame him. And so he did.
This is a lie.
Is it?
James lost his mind because of what he did for you. He was about to tell everyone the truth.
但是呢
And then you ordered me to kill him.
原来如此，所以你就是那个恶魔。
Let him speak.
I couldn't do it. I hit him, but he died in the fire. Jack saw him. It was him. I found the bones after the fire, and I buried them.
You should put an end to this, Henry. You really should.
Why would I?
You should stop this for your own sake. You knew about all this.
Why would I care if that jongleur lived or died?
Your brother cared. The jongleur survived the sinking of the White Ship. He saw how your brother's men killed the king's family so that he could take the throne.
This is preposterous.
Bishop Henry and King Stephen ordered us to kill the man.
我操，这开始乱了。
The truth. That's the truth.
乱了。
Right there.
反正老子也要挂了，大家一起死。哎，我操，他还会出来补刀，太夸张了。
Waleran is a liar.
那你没脸。
Regan Hamley.
Who is she?
Who is she?
I have waited long enough for this day.
这老妖感觉60多岁了。
It is time I raise my voice. The woman, Ellen, she spoke the truth. 3 men were responsible for the death of the jongleur. James, the prior of Kingsbridge. The sheriff, my husband, Percy Hamley. But it was Waileron who was behind it.
也像，这个 Percy Hamley 反正也感觉也不是很
He had heard rumors
很积极，
about the white ship,
反而是个老婆婆很积极。
about our king. He had hoped to win the king's favor by hanging an innocent man.
没了。
But it was not just me. They all knew.
Take him away.
This is for taking my husband's life.
啊，他
It was Waileron.
Oh, we did it. It's over.
Yes, it's over.
Thank you, Lady Hamley.
This monk must learn his lesson.
The Pope would agree. This trial is not over. Philip pleaded not guilty, but he challenged the teachings and the authority of the Church. The ordeal of fire will take place. To show that the Church is not above God. To show that my brother, the King of the English, is not above God. Not we, but God shall judge this man.
This is madness!
No, they can't do this.
Philip! No! You cannot do this!
This is now a matter of the Church, Lady Aliena. My brother, the King, and I accepted the traitor Waileron into our midst. We were fools and sinners, even if we did not know. I pray that our Lord will save Philip from these flames.
啊，然后下雨了。
For his salvation shall be a salvation for all of us sinners.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Light the pyre!
怕什么？行刑场。
My God, there must be something we can do.
Stop this madness!
啊，还没结束是吧？啊，结局在最后一章是吧 ？Chapter 20, the end. Bishop Waileron was brought to justice. Philip did not admit to heresy. Francis is alive. Because of Philip, he was arrested by Waileron in 1136. You managed to clear the name of Jack's father. Aliena forgave Philip for causing her family's downfall. Finally, Jonathan learned who his parents were. Philip was ordered to burn alive. 下一个大结局了 ，because 我还是连着了，没有任何存档的机会啊，很有可能还真没有，不能存档就直接看完了。Epilogue 啊，这叫 Epilogue 是吧？这谁啊？这不会是 Philip？ 哎 ，Return to Kingsbridge， 哎，你怎么突然就 Return to Kingsbridge 呢？什么情况？那行，能存档刚好能存档。下一期就真正的结局了，我还得考虑把这个怎么给1分为2。这故事还是可以啊，越到最后越有意思。